Welcome to Raider Talks. I am your host, Art Navarrete, here alongside Nick Ibarra. And before we get started, hit that subscribe button down below for Raider content all season long. Welcome to our Raiders game recap. We are here following a 27-20 loss to the Jacksonville Jaguars. That was embarrassing. That sucked. And the season that was supposed to be a big one, a fun one, a successful one, where we go to the playoffs, maybe even make a deep run. You know, I feel like it kind of came to an end today. And in Jacksonville, first half we played really well, played great football. Almost, I was thinking while I was watching the game, like, where was this last week? I mean, how can we go from losing, not scoring any points, to scoring 20 easy points in the first half, and then second half, you know, back to reality, and the Raiders score 0. Jacksonville scores 17. They get the win.
Yeah, it was pretty a weird day overall. You know, you go out and just like you said, you score 20 easy points, and you know, I know where our record and how we were moving the ball these past weeks or whatever, but I was fine with the 2 touchdowns and 2 field goals because it just felt like we could pass on these guys all day long. Like Carr and Devontae were money all half long, you know, and then, you know, they kind of, I don't know what happens, you know, and at half it was 20-10. It felt like we were dominating from the start, you know, and it just didn't end well, you know. This season's been the tale of 2 halves. You know, one half we played great. We play how we thought we were going to be at the beginning of the season. Yep. Everything looks good. Defense is locking people down. Offense is moving the ball like crazy. Today was in this first half, today was one of my favorite games, just us moving the ball because everything was just moving so smoothly, you know, and DC spreading it around, giving it to Devontae. Devontae had a hell of a game after the first quarter. Like, that's crazy. It could have stopped right there and he would have had a really good game. Then, like you just said, reality hits. Then we play, and it's hard to say this, we play Raider football because this is who we are in the second half, and blow this thing, you know. And we had 2 opportunities, one to take the lead, one to tie it, and couldn't do it. It just sucks. Sad. It's embarrassing. I think my last thing would be, just like you said, such a promising season. You got, you know, a head coach and a GM that came from a really good franchise. You got one of the best wide receiver in football. Everybody was supposed to be good. They took over a playoff roster, and here we are, 2-6, 4 games under 500, and it's embarrassing. It sucks, and it's not a good feeling.
We're 0-5 away.
Only AFC team who hasn't won a road game.
It's only November 6th, guys. It's only November 6th. And haven't got to Thanksgiving yet. Thanksgiving is ruined. Christmas is ruined. It feels like that way. You know, football is a fun sport. It's supposed to be fun anyways.
Yeah.
You know, we come every football season. We're pumped up, ready to go. And it feels like the season's already done in November.
Yeah.
It seems like we're going to have to do content for the draft right now. Like,
yeah.
Are we, like, Saturdays are the days we need to really be watching.
Saturdays are now Raider days, you know, because it's college.
We need to be watching those college players and seeing who we're going to get in the draft. That's what it feels like right now. And, you know, it's not going to change. This is the team we are. This is who we are. We've blown 3 17-plus leads.
Yeah.
In 8 games. We've only did it 5 times in Raider history before this season. And this is just... they're a bad football team. They're not a good football team, and it's not that, you know, it's not like we're close either. It seems like we're really far away.
Yeah,
defense isn't good. Offense shows signs of being good, but you can't be good for half. You can't be good for a quarter on offense. You gotta be good for 4 quarters in this league to win. And the Raiders come out and you know, last 2 weeks come out flat, and now that puts them at a 2-6 record, and they're screwed right now. They're screwed.
Yeah.
And it sucks. It does suck.
Yeah, you know, this was the stretch that we said it. This is a 2-win Jacksonville team. Last week we played a 2-win Saints team. We needed these. We needed to stack these wins up if we wanted to get to where we wanted to be. And it just seems like no one wants it. You know, it sucks because back, like, even Raiders in the past when we were good or wherever, we never had 17-point leads, 20-point leads. We've had 3 of them this season. 3 of them that look, and you look and just say at halftime, man, this could be a blowout. The Cardinal game, me and you at that game, this could be a blowout. And our season is going to be right back on track. At the Chief game, we called each other at halftime. This is crazy how they're playing against Patrick Mahomes in this team. This is crazy. We might be back. You know, and then you look here, even it's 20-10. Man, we're gonna move the ball all over these guys. You know, it doesn't matter kind of how defense plays. We're gonna move the ball all over these guys. And Carr was on track to have 400 yards. Devontae was on track to have a career day, and things just doesn't happen. And I think you can look now, and I think the reality is we are a bad football team. This is who we are. There's no possibly saying, yeah, we could still go on a run, you know, or 10-7, 11-6. That's not a possibility. We're gonna have to fight for these wins and really play great football, mistake-free football, if we want to win some of these games, because we are a bad football team.
Yeah, and in this game, all credit to the Jacksonville Jaguars. I mean, they came out, they're hungry, they wanted it more, and that's a big part of the game, is wanting it more, effort, and they wanted it more, and they won. And a team should never come out against you and want it more, you know?
Yeah.
Like, you should never lose because another team wants it more. And that's something that's hard to, you know, live with. If you're playing the sport, you know, if you're a Raider player, you're playing the sport, or if you just play sports in general, like, you can't just live with that, someone wanting it more than you.
Yeah.
And then watching it from the TV screen as a Raider fans want it just more than anyone else does. And when they don't put that effort on the field, it really hurts.
Yeah, it sucks. You know, last year we were at what, 8 wins, 7 wins, and maybe a couple losses in one possession ball games. We sit here, we're 0-5. Like, it's just we're a bad football team, but it's just like right there, you know. And we could have won these games, but we're not, and it's just embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing. Now let's do a little rundown of the people to blame, who we need to really talk about. First, starting off with Josh McDaniels. He comes in. He said he wanted to come in and, you know, win, get better, build off last year. And we're 2-6 right now. The offense, you know, moves the ball good sometimes, but a lot of the times they don't.
Yeah.
And it's his offense. He's pretty much the offensive coordinator. How much of the blame will you put on Josh McDaniels?
I mean, I think some of it is him, you know, and it's with. I know I'd probably be more Ziegler with the roster changes, whatever. But I mean, this was a playoff roster just a year ago, you know, and him coming in, you know, I think you look at some of the questionable decisions that he's made, you know, Chief game going for 2, kind of, and just I think these leads, you know, I think it starts up on top. We're up 17 twice, we're up 20 once. You know, and it kind of starts on top. I mean, you know, players are to blame too, but I think this whole regime has to take most of the credit for what we're doing.
Yeah, Josh McDaniels, I think, is a huge part to blame for this thing, and I think another guy that's a huge part to blame is Patrick Graham. I mean, his defensive scheme is horrible. Guys that have been good for us last year are not good for us this year. And that has to do with the scheme. You know, Gus Bradley's scheme must have been more simple and better for these guys. And maybe a year 2 under Gus Bradley, they could have been elite defense.
Maybe.
Or a really good defense. It just got better and better every year, because that's what Gus Bradley teams' defenses do. They get better every year.
Yeah.
Patrick Graham has been bad. The scheme's bad. Crosby's dropping back in coverage.
You think it's just too complicated?
Chandler Jones is dropping back in coverage. This reminds me of a Paul Gunther defense not that long ago, where everyone was saying it's so complicated. Don't we look confused every play?
Yeah.
Doesn't defense not look confused? Like pointing around,
looking around.
Like, what are we doing?
Even, I mean, you see, I know Perriman's wore the dot a couple of times, but whoever's wearing the dot looking around this season is just like, okay, what we doing? It does look confused. Some of the things I am kind of reading that it is too complicated, or we don't have the personnel to run that defense.
Yeah, it's complicated.
You know, and I think you just got to simplify it a little bit. You know, you got Max Crosby, who's a hell of a ball player. You know, Trayvon Merrick had a hell of a season last year. He comes in, he looks lost. He looks confused.
Yeah.
He doesn't look good at all. You know, Perryman, I think you can say took a tiny bit step back, but he's still playing good.
But we don't know, though.
Yeah.
Because no one looks good, though. Like, no one looks good. Crosby's going to do his thing, but he's on the defensive line, and, you know, he's going to get his sacks, he's going to get his pressures. That's not a schematical thing with Crosby.
That's just beating one guy.
Everyone else in the back end is, you know, not playing good.
Mm-hmm.
You know, Abrams not playing good.
No.
Perryman's not playing good. Blake Martinez is not playing good. I know I'm talking Blake Martinez just got him, but Trayvon Merrick's not playing good.
Aver's not playing good.
Rocky Stan looks bad at times.
Rock has his times.
And I like Rock. He's good, but he looks bad at times. There's people open on them all the time, but it's more of a scheme thing than a player thing, in my opinion. And if it was me today, if I'm Dave Ziegler, if I'm Josh McDaniels, I'm firing Patrick Graham.
Yeah, I think maybe. I think we even lucked out of some points in that first drive with them fumbling on their own, and then us picking it up. Yeah, they were driving really easy. Just I think, like we said, you know, there was a couple wide receivers in that first drive that were just right here. I'm open. You know, and you just can't have that. You know, and you know, you saw the Chief game, how open Kelsey was in those 4 touchdowns, and you just see how everyone else is open and everyone else is basically doing what they want. You know, I think you either simplify it, you know, or because you either don't have the defense, the personnel to do this with these players, or it's just getting too complicated and no one knows what the hell's going on. You either simplify it or get somebody else in here that, hey, here's the guys, play them to their best ability, and let's go defend.
Yeah, that could be an option, simplify this thing, but you know, now it's almost too late to do things, because you know you're gonna get fluke losses anyways, even if we play great football from here on out, and we're already 2-6. So it's already really ugly right now. Next, I want to talk about Derek Carr, and the thing I like about having you and having me on this show is that we're both two sides of the Derek Carr thing, because there's two sides to it. Mm-hmm. People that really love Carr, you really love Carr. Yeah. People that judgmental of Carr, because a lot of people will say like they hate Carr, like Carr haters. I'm not a Carr hater. Like I want him to do good. I judge him though. I judge him, and I judge him openly, and I'll say it to you because that's just how I feel. I'm gonna say how I feel, whether it's Carr, Aaron Rodgers on our team. I don't really care. Whereas Tom Brady, I'm a very judgmental. Not in a bad way. I don't think I'm judgmental, but I just think what I see, I'm gonna say. And he's not playing good football right now. And I expected him to come out way different this year than he did in the prior years. I expected him to be better than he's ever been, ever, because he has number one wide receiver in Devontae Adams and the pieces he has around him. And I know there's a schematical thing with Josh McDaniels, the scheme and all that, but Carr has been 9 seasons, and he only has 2 winning seasons, and it looks like that we're not going to win this season, have a winning record. Yeah. And I think there's a point in time where you just, you have to change. What they say is you're crazy when you keep trying something over and over and expect a different result. And, I think the Raiders might need to go a different direction if they want things to change. And I'm not saying it's all Carr's fault. I'm not saying it is Carr's fault. It's not Carr's fault. But don't you maybe need to change something up here soon?
Maybe. And I think what we saw out of the first half was incredible. Hitting, making money throws, and what he was doing was unbelievable. Second half, it was totally different. Missing throws, missing this, and I think the last 2 drives kind of like really pissed me off a little bit. Missing throws. You could say Devontae could have had that ball at the 50, that last drive, but that was still up there. We're 2-6. He's been a part of a lot of under 500 records in this time of the season, and that's one of those things that you don't know. We can say what we want. I'm a big Carr fan. Is it time for a change? Is it? I don't know. It's up to whoever's in charge. It's up to Ziegler and McDaniels if that's their guy or whatever. This is just, I don't know. Like you brought in his best friend. You locked up Renfro. You locked up Waller, and it's not going well. And and it sucks because it starts with him. Everybody, all eyes are on him.
Yeah.
He's the leader. He's the quarterback. He's the face of the franchise. And so I mean, I don't know. I don't know if this is, hey, you're gonna play your last games and that's it because it's easy to get out of this contract, or you go into that, maybe especially him and McDaniels go into that. I would think it more for Carr than McDaniels, but hey, this year, then another training camp, whatever, and then 3 or 4 games. If it's not there, then you're benched and you're done. You know what I mean? Because I seriously think still kind of year 2 in this system, maybe. But you look at just this first year in the system, and Carr, Renfro, Waller, they're not playing well. They're regressing, and it's crazy because they all had really good years. Or I can't say Waller, but Renfro had a really good career year last year. Made his money from what he did last year. Carr, what he did after the whole Ruggs thing, and then coming out these last 4 games and doing whatever it took to win, was amazing. And so it's just, is it the system? Is it McDaniels? Is it our quarterback? It could be a whole bunch of those things. It could be a little bit of everything. It's one of those things. It's just weird right now.
Yeah. For me personally, I think I would like a fresh start, another guy in a Raider uniform, because I think it's like I'm seeing the same movie over and over again with the same ending. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like it's like me watching a movie every day from whatever football season, 4 months, 6 months or whatever. Yeah. Football season 6 months. I feel like I'm watching the same movie every Sunday with the same ending for 9 years straight, and nothing has really changed. So it's I would like a new start, fresh guy. But that being said, the Raiders do have a chance to play in the Super Bowl next year in Las Vegas, and we need to give ourselves the best opportunity to win in Vegas. I know it sounds stupid right now. We're 2-6. We look like we're really far apart. Let's say we're far apart for next year too. But if somehow we put pieces together, we're gonna have to put a chance to put us on the field in Allegiant Stadium and win in our house. And especially
with it being year 2.
Yes, and if Carr's the best option, then I'm all for having Carr out there. But I think we need to at the very least, get a quarterback to learn from Carr,
and I think that's to where they can sit there too. Like, hey, Carr, we're gonna go get so and so or draft so and so. You're still the guy, but at a certain point, if it's not it, if it's this right here, then it's pretty much done. Because I think after next year, it gets easier to cut him. Then after that, it's really easy to cut him with no penalty, kind of at all.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we'll kind of see what happens. We still have, it's crazy to say, we still have a lot of football left. But,
yeah, we do. But,
season's not over with. We still got a whole bunch of games. And I think that you try to find out, instead of us talking about, okay, well, we need this game and this game and these people to lose for us to be in the playoffs. I think we got to look at now, like you just said, maybe draft year 2 of the system. Who stays, who goes, who's looking more comfortable in the system. And, it just sucks because, like we said, 3 weeks ago, we said, hey, we go on the run right here. I think right now we're supposed to be at a 4-4 mark, we said, in our 4-4 mark, finally at 500. We look forward, and everything's all good. We're 2-6. Doesn't look good at all. The only thing I'm excited for is now maybe next year we get an easier schedule, get that 4th place schedule maybe, but it sucks.
It sucks, yeah. And it's at the point now, it's so confusing right now to be a Raider fan because, it's not confusing. I'm going to be a Raider fan till the day I die. You know what I mean? The day I die, I'm going out on Sundays and I'm a Raider fan. But it's confusing because, if we're a middle of the pack team, that don't help us. No. And that's the most we're going to be. Unless we string together, 9 in a row. 8 or win 8 out of 9, and we have a shot or something, but that's not gonna happen. We know that's not gonna happen. Let's just be honest here. It's not gonna happen. Or I'm gonna say it. You can say whatever you want.
No, it hurts. I came to reality today. Yeah. It hurts to say.
You can say whatever you want to say, but I'm gonna be honest.
Hurts to say we're not gonna. We're not gonna probably have double-digit wins.
So I'm watching this. I mean, it's almost like let's be bad or let's make the playoffs.
Yeah.
Because middle pack, nothing. You're not getting nothing good out of that.
Yeah.
I mean, middle pack, you're not getting a great draft pick. I it's just not a lot of good things happen in that middle of the pack range, and the teams that happen to be middle of the pack stay middle of the pack for a long time.
Yeah.
And teams that, sometimes they slip down to the lower tiers and get good draft picks for the next 2 or 3 years, and all of a sudden 5 years later, boom, they're really, really good. So I would like for us to either have a good draft pick or be in the playoffs. And I really hope we're not I don't know how to say this,
Yeah.
It's hard to say.
It's hard to talk about. You either,
because I don't want to go out on Sundays and not root against the Raiders.
Yeah, but you still want to sit there. If this is what it's going to be, then okay, we're good. We're fine with it. Lose out. Let's have a good draft, and for our draft pick, let's have a good schedule. You know what I mean? And face some last place teams, because we play other divisions and then the NFC opponent. You don't want to do that middle of the pack, because then you pick around that 15, 16 range. The good player, the top players are already gone. You hope somebody slips, and that schedule strengthens a little bit, and you're like, well, if we were here, then you start looking, well, man, we should have won against the Jaguars then.
Yeah.
We should have won against Kansas City. We should have won against Arizona. Because then with those 3 wins, we're a winning football team with a playoff, and then now it's worth it. It's worth picking in the 20s or something. And but that's
what it is.
That's what it is. That's what it is. And I think after today, I came to reality that this is who we are. This is the second half. That's Raider football. That's Josh. And I'm going to say it because he's the coach, and that's Josh McDaniels' Raider football. Yeah. And I'm not blaming it on him, whatever, but that's our team. That's our identity right there.
Yeah. I would like to thank you guys for watching so far in this video. And if you guys want to comment down and give us video ideas of what to talk about and why we're losing, or why we think we're losing, or the reasons for some things happening, comment down below and give us some video ideas, and we'll talk about it. Because we're getting to the point we need to talk about these problems. More than we're probably not more excited to talk about these problems, but we're going to get more accomplished on this show by talking about these problems. And instead of doing pre-games now, it almost feels like, and that's just sad to say, and it hurts, but
because we basically almost brushed it under the rug a little bit. We're fine, we're only losing by 2 or 3 points.
Positive, being very positive.
We're a play away, and I still think we're 0-5. We're maybe 10 plays away from this season flipping, and we're 6-2.
Yeah.
But that's not it. When this happens consistently, this is who we are consistently. We're a losing football team. We're a bad football team, and we just lost to the Jaguars.
Yeah, there's no hiding it anymore.
There's no being optimistic.
There's no us coming on here and saying we're close. We're very close. We only lost. We played good. We almost came back or something, or we're blowing leads, we're getting dominated. It's bad.
It's time to come to reality. This isn't a 2-quarter ball game, because if this was a 2-quarter ball game,
we're gonna be the best.
We'd be the best team in the NFL.
Yeah, we would.
You got to play all complete 4 quarters. You got to play all game, and we don't do that. We've only done that maybe once against Denver, but we got really hot against Houston. That's why we got 2 wins. But consistently, we're a bad football team. And
let's just talk about these last 3 games. Texans, we made David Mills Joe Montana. Prime Joe Montana.
Yeah.
Play the Saints, make Andy Dalton look like prime Tom Brady. Play Jacksonville Jaguars, make Trevor Lawrence look like prime Peyton Manning.
Yep.
It is what it is. Trevor Lawrence has not been good all season. I mean, he only has 5 wins in his whole career. Got one today. He threw 25 for 31, 235 yards and 1 touchdown. He played good when it mattered, and that's what got them the win. And it's just it's bad. It feels like everybody has a great game against the Raiders on the defensive and offensive side of the ball. And it's been happening all season long, and it's not because they're pumped up to play the Raiders. As much as it looks like that, it's not like because they're pumped up to play the Raiders. I'm playing the Raiders this week. I'm gonna get 100 yards. I'm gonna get 130 yards. I'm gonna a quarterback. I'm throwing for 300 yards this week. Yeah, it's not like that. It's because our defense sucks. Yeah, and it's because our offense sucks, and that's why these guys are having career days against us.
Yeah, I think before you kind of took it kind of personally, They want to play us. They want to, they're excited to see us. And I think as as much as we've gotten older and started watching games, our defense is not good at all, and it's easy for them.
That's why they're excited to play us.
And Kelsey says it all the time. I love Raider Week. It's an easy, almost 100-something yards, couple touchdowns. What do you do? That he had 4 touchdowns.
He wasn't lying when he said what he said.
It's easy. When you play us. And it's not. It's not good right now. And coming off of these playoffs, we looked at 16, 17, and we said that's not going to be that. This feels totally different. This is good. And we just had a talk right now. This is the same thing. I mean, worse. Worse because at one point we were still kind of right there, and then fell off way at the end later in the season. Yeah. I think we were 6-6 at one point, maybe in the thick of things, or a game away from first. And we just had to win out, and we would have been fine or whatever. But this one doesn't look good. And
I feel bad because preseason, started regular season or whatever, we're signing Wolf tickets to everybody. Selling all these Wolf tickets. It feels like we're signing Wolf tickets about this team could be a Super Bowl contender. This team could have an elite defense. Remember we said this team could have an elite defense. Made a show about that. Made a show about them having elite offense, and they showed signs of having elite offense, but nothing close to elite defense. Man, it's embarrassing.
It's really embarrassing.
And we take it to heart because we've been Raider fans since we're children.
Yeah,
kids growing up. Our dads are huge Raider fans, and our family are huge Raider fans. And when it's Raider time and it's time to play some football, time for a football season, you're pumped up, you're ready to go. All off season, you've been waiting all season, been looking at these moves they've been making. It's a year-round thing for us. Where for some people, it's not a year-round thing; it's just football season.
Yeah,
but it's year-round for us. And going all off season, and we're watching all these moves every day, and just talking about them, and excited about these moves.
Yeah,
and we how they put it together, and then when they go out to the field, and now we're 2-6, it sucks.
For me, this is it's crazy because we were excited about Devontae. A couple weeks later after Devontae, we bought our tickets for Arizona. We planned out a trip. Hey, we're doing this, we're doing that because we love our Raiders. We had countless of conversations about these Raiders. Hey, we're going to go do this. We just signed this. We did this. We did this. And even after the 0-2 start, me and my girl, we go buy Raiders-Rams tickets. Hey, we're going to go see Raiders-Rams. My first away game. It's fun. It's cool. Now you look and it's just like, man, like Raiders made us look stupid talking, and I'm excited, and I was excited to go to the Raider game.
Are we stupid for for thinking they can do something
and buying tickets and everything? I mean maybe, but I still love my Raiders. I still love the Raiders. I'm excited for every game. I'm excited for next Sunday. I'm excited to go Raiders-Rams. It's just disappointing knowing you look at it on paper, our roster, and what we could do and what we have done in the past, talking about last year, and just the growth that everybody has made. And this year, you just fall completely down.
It's just about every Raider fan, every Raider fan, if you're a Raider fan, you go to sleep the night before, you can't even sleep. You're pumped up, ready to run through a wall, just excited, nervous.
Yeah.
Now, I'm going to sleep like, what am I going to watch tomorrow? What kind of team am I going to watch tomorrow? Here we go.
Yeah.
You're not going to sleep pumped up, ready to run through a wall, ready to stretch in the morning. Like I'm going to play.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I know I'm getting over exaggerating a little bit, but it's just doesn't feel like that to me right now, and I'm sure it don't feel like that to you.
No, and it's, even when we lost in the past, it seemed like every game was a big game. You're just pumped, you're excited, and as far as this season, it's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to sit there and say.
It's like 2014, 2015.
And it's kind of hard to sit there and say, and I know I said I love my Raiders, I'm excited, whatever, but it's very hard to sit there and say, I can't wait for the week to be over because my Raiders are on Sunday. And it's just, it's one of those, and then you hear everything in press conferences, and just like you said, Trevor Lawrence say, hey, I'm going to come out, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and, it sucks. And, we play the Colts. Colts are struggling right now. They're probably going to get their season back on track. It just, as of right now, 2-6. Well, what we have and everything, it's very sad. It's very disappointing.
Yeah, we sound like downers right now. I know a lot of people are probably subscribed because we're positive, or unsubscribed because we're too positive. But there's a point where we can't be positive anymore. We can't look at just like the good things. It's like we gotta look at the bad now because we have a bad record.
Yeah.
2-6. But
and this is who we are.
It is who we are. And yeah, we'll put some more videos out this week. Kind of, we'll think of some ideas and talk about some things and put out some more videos. Thanks for joining us. I know it's tough to watch this after a Raider loss. It's always tough to watch anything after a Raider loss. The press conferences, everything. But we'll see you guys next time, and go Raiders.
Go Raiders.